Friends, family, truth seekers, we are diving headfirst into a controversy that sent shockwaves through the gospel community. Get ready, because this is more than just a disagreement, it's a reckoning. Juanita Bynum, the globally recognized preacher, the woman whose voice has resonated in countless churches and homes, has finally addressed the elephant in the room, her $1,499 prayer class. But her explanation? It's not what anyone expected. And that's just the beginning. Leandrea Johnson, the Grammy-winning gospel powerhouse, a voice known for its raw honesty and unwavering conviction, has entered the fray. Her reaction to Bynum's revelation is a Molotov cocktail of truth and challenge, igniting a fierce debate about faith, finances, and the very soul of the modern gospel movement. Is this just about one expensive prayer class? Absolutely not. This is about the intersection of faith and commerce, the pressures faced by those in ministry, and the potential for exploitation when belief meets the bottom line. Buckle up, because the secrets behind this scandalous price tag go far beyond what you've heard. We're pulling back the curtain, examining the motivations, and asking the hard questions that no one else dares to. Juanita Bynum is a name synonymous with power, conviction, and spiritual guidance. For decades, she's been a beacon for many, her teachings shaping lives and inspiring faith. But this latest chapter? This is different. For years, she's offered exclusive prayer classes, intimate sessions promising profound spiritual experiences. The price? A staggering $1,499. Let that sink in. Now, it's one thing to invest in personal growth, in workshops or retreats that enhance skills or provide knowledge. But when that investment is tied directly to faith, to accessing divine intervention, the stakes are raised. What exactly were people paying for? Was it a guaranteed connection to God? A fast pass to answered prayers? Bynum's promises were bold: life-changing breakthroughs, personalized intercession, a spiritual awakening unlike any other. But the price tag alone raised eyebrows and sparked questions. Was it truly worth it? Did the value align with the cost? Or was something else at play? After years of hushed whispers and growing skepticism, Juanita Bynum finally broke her silence. And her confession? It was a bombshell. Forget the tales of miraculous healings and instant manifestations. Juanita Bynum didn't justify the price with promises of divine intervention alone. Instead, she peeled back the layers of the business behind her ministry, something she's rarely, if ever, done so publicly. This is where it gets uncomfortable, where faith meets finance in a way that challenges our assumptions. According to Bynum, these classes weren't solely about guiding individuals on their spiritual journeys. They were an integral part of a much larger financial ecosystem, one fueled by marketing strategies, promotional campaigns, and a carefully cultivated high-end brand. She admitted that the $1,499 price tag wasn't just about providing spiritual guidance, it was also about sustaining her ministry. She acknowledged the financial challenges her ministry had faced in recent years, the pressures of maintaining a global operation. In her eyes, this was a necessary step to ensure its survival. But here's the twist, the part that makes this so much more than just a financial disclosure. Bynum hinted at secrets buried within the pricing structure, details behind the promotion of these prayer sessions that are genuinely shocking. Were these prayer classes truly about spiritual enlightenment, or was there a more cynical calculation at work? Was it a scam? Juanita Bynum's revelation forces us to confront a larger, often unspoken truth: the business of faith. Let's be honest. Faith-based ministries are massive enterprises. From streaming services and merchandise to books, conferences, and, yes, exclusive prayer classes, The financial machinery behind these ministries is often more complex than most believers realize. And this isn't just a Juanita Bynum issue, it's happening across the board. In an era where ministry can go global with a single click, preachers and gospel leaders have become brands, their calling transformed into a business. There's nothing inherently wrong with turning a profit, Juanita says. But where do we draw the line? How do we navigate the delicate balance between faith and profit? Bynum explained that while her ministry has always been rooted in service, she's had to find new ways to fund her operations. The costs of maintaining a worldwide ministry, staff salaries, travel expenses, personal health issues, are astronomical. She justified premium offerings like the $1,499 prayer class as a necessary means to an end. The problem, critics argue, isn't the high-end experience, it's the perception of exploiting people's faith for financial gain. Are these classes a genuine path to God, or a cleverly disguised marketing tactic wrapped in religious packaging? Are these high-ticket prayer classes a form of spiritual exploitation? Were they a way to get closer to God, or a clever marketing tactic wrapped in religious packaging? These classes were marketed as opportunities for spiritual growth, one-on-one prayer, teaching, and personal guidance. But the hefty price tag, especially during times of financial hardship for many, felt excessive. The critics voiced their concerns. Was Bynum truly offering something invaluable, or was she simply making up for lost revenue? The reactions were mixed, with some defending her right to make a living and others feeling betrayed by the monetization of prayer. Just when you thought the drama couldn't escalate, enter Leandrea Johnson. If you're not familiar, Leandrea is a Grammy-winning gospel singer, respected for her powerful voice and unapologetic opinions. She's not just a singer, she's a social media force, unafraid to address controversial topics within the church and gospel world. And recently, Leandrea did something that shook the foundations. She reacted to Juanita Bynum's $1,499 prayer class, igniting a firestorm of conversation. Instead of silent approval, Leandrea took to social media, holding nothing back. In a post that went viral, she questioned the ethics of charging such a high price for prayer. She made explosive claims about the motivations behind ministries that profit from people's faith. According to Leandrea, charging for events and merchandise is one thing, but charging thousands for prayer crosses a line. Leandrea's comments stirred a major debate. Was she simply being honest, or was she being too harsh? Some praised her for calling out what they saw as a sham, while others accused her of being out of touch with the realities of running a ministry. She went on to discuss the issue in her music, using her platform to address what she believes is a dangerous trend of prosperity gospel ministries exploiting the vulnerable. But it gets juicier. Leandrea didn't just comment on the $1,499 prayer class. She opened up about her own experiences in the gospel industry. Leandrea revealed the pressure she's faced to conform to a certain image of success, how she was pressured to believe that faith must come with a hefty price tag. She was part of the system, and now she's calling it out. Leandrea is no stranger to controversy, but her recent remarks have placed her in the middle of a much larger conversation. While Leandrea's reaction is fierce, it's not solely about the money. She's concerned about something deeper, the spiritual toll that these high-ticket ministries can take on people who are already struggling. It's about what these events teach us about the nature of faith itself. Let's take a closer look at the structure behind these ministries. Running a global ministry comes with a massive price tag: staff, travel, venues, accommodations, security, promotional costs, and marketing are just the tip of the iceberg. Then there are the personal expenses of the ministers themselves: private jets, lavish hotels, and high-end living. When you factor all of this in, it's no surprise that some ministers feel pressured to create premium offerings like these prayer classes. But is it really fair to ask everyday people to pay so much for a chance to connect with God? While it's necessary to fund the operations of a global ministry, the line is crossed when ordinary people are asked to shell out life-changing amounts of money for spiritual experiences. This isn't just a Juanita Bynum issue. Many famous pastors and leaders are selling high-ticket items, promising miraculous transformations. Many people who attend these events are vulnerable, seeking answers to life's difficult questions, personal crises, health problems, financial struggles. When someone in a position of authority promises a breakthrough, it's hard to resist. People believe they're investing in their spiritual future, believing it will pay dividends beyond the price they're paying. What if some of these ministries are preying on vulnerability and are a reflection of a broken system forcing ministers to choose between ministry and survival? Juanita admits she faced a critical moment where she had to decide: continue struggling financially or use her platform to create a more sustainable income model. But at what cost? Leandrea Johnson criticized the concept of success in the faith world. The prosperity gospel has led to a system where ministers are judged by their wealth instead of their character. The message that you can't be a successful minister unless you're wealthy continues to dominate the gospel world and needs to be confronted. Despite the controversy, some see Juanita and Leandrea as trailblazers. They're speaking openly about the financial realities of ministry, a step toward breaking the silence that has kept these issues hidden for so long. Juanita Bynum's loyal supporters defend her right to charge for her prayer classes, arguing that she's providing a valuable service to those willing to pay. They claim her teachings, prayers, and guidance are priceless, and the $1,499 fee is a small price for spiritual breakthroughs. After all, Juanita has built a reputation over decades. Leandrea Johnson's critics claim she's hitting on something others are too afraid to say. They feel the gospel industry has become too commercialized, arguing that no one should pay such a high price for prayer. They believe spirituality should be freely accessible. The situation is a deeper reflection of a crisis in the church. Both sides have valid points. Juanita Bynum's ministry offers something unique, but is it worth the price of admission? Are people being manipulated, or are they willingly paying for something they truly believe in? There are a whole group of people in the middle, unsure of what to believe. People are wondering if this is just one example of something bigger. Is the prosperity gospel movement falling apart, or is it evolving? What does this mean for the future of faith-based enterprises? Some believe this controversy could mark the beginning of a shift, where transparency and accountability become the norm. Juanita and Leandrea aren't the only ones involved. High-profile gospel artists and pastors have begun to speak up, sharing their experiences with the financial realities of ministry and the pressure to conform. Some support Leandrea, claiming she's brave, while others voice concerns about public disagreements. One anonymous pastor stated, "There is a thin line between offering spiritual value and exploiting people's faith. The public is smarter than people think." This controversy is a reflection of a deeper issue that many have been talking about for years: the financial model of modern ministries. Is this the price of faith? How much is too much when it comes to charging for spiritual services? Is this a trend that will continue to grow, or will it finally get the pushback it deserves? In the world of gospel ministries, the line between ministry and business can sometimes blur. It's no secret that running a ministry requires significant resources. But what happens when a pastor or ministry leader starts to use that financial model to pad their own pockets? How do we, the public, determine what's fair, and what does it mean when we see spiritual leaders charging prices that most people simply can't afford? For Juanita Bynum, this $1,499 prayer class is a perfect example of the delicate balance between offering valuable spiritual guidance and charging a price that seems out of reach for many. And this isn't the only time that she has faced scrutiny over her fees. Let's not forget the ripple effects on the gospel community. Leandrea Johnson, with her bold remarks, has brought this issue into the spotlight, once again forcing others to speak up. The financial model of charging large sums for a prayer session, which many find exorbitant, can't help but make people wonder, is this the way forward for the ministry, or is this a trend that needs to be stopped in its tracks before it grows even larger? Some are concerned that this kind of pricing is eroding the trust between ministries and the public. They argue that when a person's faith becomes a transactional experience, it cheapens the essence of what faith truly is. What's even more concerning is the potential long-term impact on churchgoers. Many of Bynum's followers are vulnerable individuals who are looking for healing, hope, and spiritual guidance. But when people are paying such large sums for these sessions, what happens when they don't see the results they were promised? It becomes a real crisis of confidence. It's one thing to trust someone when they're offering their services for free or even at a reasonable price, but when you're being asked to fork out hundreds or even thousands of dollars, the stakes are higher and the disappointment can be far more damaging. If ministries like Oniana's continue to expand their offerings and raise prices, we could see the entire landscape of gospel ministries change. Imagine a future where people are charged for prayer sessions, for counseling, or even for attending services that used to be free. What does that mean for those who can't afford it? Will they be pushed out of spiritual communities altogether, or will they be forced to turn to less established, less credible leaders who prey on their vulnerabilities? Is there a way to balance the business side of ministry with the spiritual needs of the people it serves? Can we as a community protect our faith while ensuring that those who are in it for the wrong reasons are held accountable? Friends, this is more than a scandal. It's a conversation starter. Let's continue to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and hold those in positions of power accountable. The future of faith may depend